Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Yazana binti Muhammad Yusuf. Today, my group will do a video regarding the theme Language and the Brain. Language and the Brain, or Neurolinguistics, explained by the Linguistic Society of America, is the study of how language is represented in the brain, specifically how and where our brains store the knowledge of language and what happens when we acquire language. According to Medical News Today, there are two main language centers on the left side of the brain. These are Wernicke's area, which is mainly used to decode speech, and Broca's area, which is responsible for controlling the processes that lead to speech utterance. The concept that I choose regarding the theme language and brain is bilingualism. Based on Merriam-Webster dictionary, the meaning of bilingualism is the ability to speak two languages. It is related to understanding and using two different languages in speaking with others, depends on the situation and the people. Bilingualism can be mastered by anyone without considering the age. According to the conversation website, bilingualism comes in many shapes and forms. For example, some bilinguals learn a second language from birth and others much later. Some bilinguals instantly need to switch between their two languages, while others speak one language at home and another one at work. Bilinguals usually learn the second language at school with their parents that have different nationalities or living in a different country that has their own language. Then, what is the relationship between bilingualism and language and the brain? Based on the conversation website, in the early stages of learning and using additional language, or if both languages are frequently used in the same setting, the bilingual brain adapts region in frontal areas of the cortex, which is the regions that are highly used for executive functions, to more effectively handle the increased effort required to select and control the languages. Different to someone who actively bilingual for a long time, because they also adapt other brain regions such as basal ganglia and cerebellum, which are used to complete a task more efficiently or automatically. Such adaptations in brain structure indicate a shift towards more efficiently handling of language competition. According to National Institute of Health, the study has found that bilingual children are good at multitasking and better at focusing their attention to something. The researchers did two experiments, which is level test and attention test towards bilingual kids. The findings suggest that bilingual experience may help improve selective attention by enhancing the auditory brain response. According to Dr. Nina Kraus at Northwestern University, bilingualism serves as enrichment for the brain and has real consequences when it comes to executive function, specifically attention and working memory. Now, I will show the video of the real-world example for bilingualism.
A coffee will play.
What does that mean?
It means more please.
The video shown is about a 3-year-old bilingual kid that speaks English and French. His parents speak fluent English at home, and he learns the second language, which is French, at the daycare. He can speak the language fluently, which in that video, the kid speaks in French and translated it to his mom in English. According to August Erica Hoff, professor of psychology at Florida Atlantic University in Boca Raton, and Cynthia Core, an associate professor of speech, language, and hearing science at George Washington University in Washington, D.C., children seem to naturally develop an understanding of who speaks the language, and they will choose the correct language to communicate with a particular individual. Being a bilingual in a very young age is a good thing and can acknowledge according to the elders, as it is good for a child's brain development. According to a Spanish website, research has shown that learning another language at a young age can have lasting benefits for children. Bilingual children can solve non-verbal problems better than monolingual children, and they could think, understand, and communicate their thoughts and ideas more creatively based on a study of Scottish and Italian bilingual children. I think that's all from me. From now on, my friends will take over the video to tell us about their chosen concept.
Assalamualaikum, I'm Shahida and I will be continuing our discussion with my chosen concepts, tongue slips. Now, what are tongue slips? According to a study by Zainab Abudi Ali, tongue slips are a speech error that is regarded as an articulation error and can happen in everyday conversations. In a study by Umar Bakri, Guru Oglu said that it is when sounds, syllables, or words change their places. So, how does tongue slips relate to neurolinguistics? Referring more to Zainab, tongue slips are a way for us to understand how we process speech and how we develop language. There are few possible explanations as to how. Sigmund Freud explained it as a slip that is done with a suppressed thought. Daniel Wegner, a psychologist at Harvard, further explained that our conscious mind will try to suppress it, forcing the unconscious mind to not think about it. When this fails, our suppressed thought comes up when we speak. Another explanation that I will be using is that there are 3 nodes for language: lexical, semantic, and phonological. They can be activated when our brain is trying to make a sentence. How this works is that we have more specific notes for every single sounds and words. A slip happens when they overlap and become confused on who was supposed to be activated. For my real world example, I will be using my favorite YouTuber, David Nagel, or Nogla. I'm just going to call him Nogla for the whole time. Nogla is an Irish gaming YouTuber who is very well known for misspeaking a lot of times. Today, I'm going to highlight one example.
Dang
What?
That's
Oh
right.
my gosh.
I was telling the truth.
I have the brain fish of a memory, so
What?
In this video, he accidentally said, I have a brain fish of a memory when trying to say that he can't remember what cards did one of his friends have when all of them switch hands. No, I think he meant to say, I have a memory of a goldfish, referring to his short-term memory. The addition of the word brain is unnecessary, but could be because he is thinking of memory. So this could be spoonerism or exchange, a slip that switches sounds or words around. So to put into perspective, imagine memory and fish having their own nodes in the brain. The fish node is activated prematurely, and the node for memory is delayed in activation. Also, when the lexical node is activated in order to search for the strongest activation for memory, the word brain probably came up and activated alongside memory. As a side note, another YouTuber theorized that this could happen because he has to translate from Gaelic to English. That's why he always makes mistakes. Although Nogla never actually confirmed he could speak Gaelic. Long story short, mistakes made from a tongue slip is not by coincidence, but by vocabs and grammar rules that we have learned our whole lives, and it is not caused by brain damage. Which brings us to our next concepts.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Sophia Hani, and for my part, I'll be explaining about Broca's aphasia. In accordance with the National Library of Medicine, Broca's aphasia is a non-fluent form of aphasia that causes a severe reduction in the output of spontaneous speech. The amount of speech is greatly reduced. The articulation is distorted and slow, often effortful speech, and difficulty with word order. The ability to repeat phrases is also impaired in patients with Broca's aphasia. The production of speech frequently consists almost entirely of lexical morphemes and often omits functional morphemes and usually deletes inflectional morphemes, which is referred to as agrammatism. Despite these impairments, the words that are produced are often comprehensible and contextually correct. Nevertheless, the comprehension is typically much better than production. You may be wondering, how does Broca's aphasia relate to language and the brain? Well, according to Dr. Hedi Muawad, a neurologist in Cleveland, claims that any neurological condition that damages cells in the language area of the brain, which is located on the left hemisphere of the brain, may result in aphasia. Aphasia is the loss of the ability to understand speech or communicate using language. Broca's aphasia results from damage to a part of the brain called Broca's area, in which brain cells can die when blood flow or oxygen flow to a particular part of the brain is stopped or diminished. Broca's aphasia can be caused by a few reasons, which are stroke, brain tumor, and any injury to the brain. For the real example, I will be using a video of a man named Kent who has Broca's aphasia. Today, I'm going to highlight some real examples of the symptoms for people who suffer with Broca's aphasia. First symptom is they can understand what others are saying, but it is difficult for them to articulate words.
You can understand what I'm saying to you, right?
Yes.
Okay. Tell me your name.
Because I.
The next symptom is they experience difficulty to repeat words.
Say Richmond.
Yes, Richard.
Richmond. Say Richmond.
Richard.
Lastly is reduced amount of speech.
So how are you doing today, Kent?
Tim Okay.
In conclusion, it is clear that any injury to the language area of the brain, specifically Broca's area, may lead to Broca's aphasia, which can disturb our speech production. Next, let's move on to Wernicke's aphasia.
Assalamualaikum, I am Adina. Now I will talk about Wernicke aphasia. As we know, aphasia is impairment of the language that can affect both the production and the comprehension of the speech. and impair a person's ability to read and write. Meanwhile, Wernicke's aphasia or fluent aphasia is one of the type of aphasia disorder. It is referred to as fluent because someone with Wernicke aphasia not have difficulty producing connected speech. However, what they say may not make a lot of sense, and they might use irrelevant words in their sentence. Now, I will talk about what is a relationship between Wernicke aphasia and the team language and the brains. Wernicke's aphasia is a brain disorder when one person has difficulty to consider ability to understand and select the right word to use when they talk. This happens because there is a damage in their part of the brain, which is called Wernicke's area, that involved in the comprehensive of written and spoken language. This proof as evidence that suggests that difference in brainwave and activity can cause difficulties with the language acquisition. People who have a damage on their Wernicke's area of the brain cannot understand words. They will speak with irregular rhythm and grammar, but the word don't make sense, and they don't ever realize what they are saying is nonsense. As for example, I will show you this video of Wernicke's aphasia patient.
Hi Byron, how are you?
I'm happy. Are you pretty? You look good.
What are you doing today?
We stayed with the water over here at the moment and talked with the people for them over there.
What we can find in the video is that Mr. Byron Pettison is a Wernicke aphasia patient. This can be seen based on his conversation with Megan. She asked some simple questions like, "How are you?" But Mr. Brian answered with, "I'm happy." "Are you pretty?" "You look good." Which really doesn't make sense in this situation. And then, next she asked, "What are you doing today?" But then Mr. Brian failed to answer this question and saying something out of topic and doesn't make sense. However, Mr. Brian's speech is smooth and does not stutter. He is fluent with his words. This shows that people with Wernicke's aphasia are fluent in language, but they have difficulty to say the word that they want to say, make them fail to use the word correctly. Okay, that's all. That's all for me. Thank you. Alright, that's all for my group for the topic language and the brain. Thank you.